Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another PCM repair, this time working on a 2011 Mini Cooper Clubman. This is sent to me by Luis Fernando. He is from Austin, Texas. He said, "Hi, this is my DME from a 2011 Mini Cooper. Let me see. When I tested it, I found no communication from the DME. The car itself was a crank no start. When I connected, no, I scanned it for code, all other modules had codes for no communication with the DME. And then he sent me his bin number, which at the end ends in B as in Brown, T as in Thomas, Y as in yellow, 00881. All right, so I got everything connected. I removed the computer from the case. I have his information here. This is his computer in the case so you guys can see how that looks. And when I open these computers, as you can see, the case has no damage at all. And I have the special tools to do that. All right, so I usually check these computers right away. I'm very familiar with them. I consider myself an expert on these modules, and I have all parts in stock. All right, so before I connect, I'm going to show you a little bit of information that I have gathered so we can understand more of what is necessary to actually connect the computer on the bench and then have a breakout box like this is very handy because I can have terminal 30, terminal 15, or terminal 87 in case I need to provide it for a computer. I also use a decay box because these computers has no terminating resistors and you need it. The way the BMW used this to in the vehicle or Mini Cooper is to a gateway, and the gateway provides those resistors. They are not in here. So in order to communicate using just a scanner, like I always have and use the top-down Phoenix Max, I have to use a decay back, so and that's why I have these two cables in here that goes over to uh, resistor of 60 ohms, as you can see here, and I have two channels on my oscilloscope just to see the communication. I also have provided through a multimeter, just as a reader in here to see how the 5-volt reference is. So main signals necessary for me here, right, is the ground, so I can provide just a little just one ground, but I always provide two just in case in 3 and 4. I provided terminal, sorry, pins 5 is one of the main powers. Terminal 30, terminal 18, and or sorry, pins 36, 18, and 42 are not populated internally in the modules. They just go and jump across. So these are providing power for coils, injectors, and so other things. I don't know why BMW does that. It goes through the DME, which it doesn't go internally. It just goes like jumper to jumper, and it provides the power for the computer to, I don't know, as a jumper to go through something else. But yeah, so the ones that I need in here will be just pin 5, pin 19, which is a wake up signal, is a ignition fed, right? And then the PT can high and low, which are in pins 52 and 40. All of this is in connector X6304. To know which one is that one, I have also the pictures telling me which one is which. Again, I'm very familiar, but this is I want to show you. So if we have two big connectors and then one small one that, so the 04 is this one. This will be either, depends on the year, this can be the 211 or the 231, and this is either the 232 or the 212. uh, Everything that I need to check is in the X604, so I am here. So I have two 5-volt reference, and I'm going to show you that in a second. But yeah, so I know how, or that's how I know which are the connections that I need, right? I also have a picture here to show me the 5-volt reference. This computer will provide three separate 5-volt references that are coming from the same regulator, but they are actually separate. There is a sensor, the only sensor that shares two 5-volt reference from, let's say, 5-volt reference 1 and 5-volt reference, let me just make sure I'm saying that right, 5-volt reference 2. So 1 and 2 is the accelerator paddle module. As you can see here, the V10, I'm going to zoom a little more so we can see that the V10, hopefully you can see that hand moving in there, is the accelerator pedal, so in connector X604 and pin 46. I also going to check, and I am in, again, pin X604, or sorry, connector X604. If I go over to pin 20, I have another 5-volt reference. Those two are for the accelerator pedal. If either one of those is missing, the car will not start. And that's because it's a 5-volt reference. So I know that as a fact. So let's power this up. Now that we know what we're doing, now I am connected in pin 20. And pin 20 is only half a volt, so that is already no good. I can then move these and put it into pin what we said 46. So let me move that. So let me show you where is, because we have 18, 19, which is the um, wake up signal or ignition, right? And then 20, which is next to that. So I'm going to move it over to 46. Give me 1 second. All right, move that to pin 46, which is, we got 42 on the first upper part and then 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Let me power this up again. And we had 3.1 volts onto that one. So definitely we have a problem with the voltage regulator on this computer and the circuits for the 5-volt reference. This is very common when you leave the ground at the valve cover unplugged. Somebody goes and replaces the valve cover or does works on the coils and disconnected that ground, and then that takes the computer down. Very common on these vehicles. All right, let's see if we can establish communication, because either sometimes if something like this happened, we will be able to establish communication. This should read the V number of the car. I doubt it because we have no 5 volts. As you can see, the voltage is changing as we're trying to establish communication. So I doubt that we have communication. And also the reason of this happening is because that 5-volt reference, and so the 5-volt regulator on this vehicle also has the CAN transceiver. So yep, and this 5-volt regulator, it provides the power for the microprocessor and for the sensor. So if something takes it down, it definitely can affect the entire computer. But yeah, so Luis Fernando, yes, your computer will need to be repaired. This is 100% confirmed your concern. So I'm going to start replacing the voltage regulator and some other components that I always replace in order to establish communication back and then get that 5-volt reference. I will do the same test on pin 20 and pin 46. I'm going to leave it just the way it is so we can, when I repair, if you approve the repairs, then check this up. All right, so guys, stay tuned. I'm probably going to just do a one whole video for Luis and for you guys, and I hope that you like this content because I'm trying to share as much as information. You can do this test on your computer in your vehicle. If you have a no start condition, the first thing that I always recommend to do is, um, and it's very simple, we can, on these vehicles, leave just the connector X604 plugged in and disconnect these two harnesses. If you disconnect these two harnesses and the 5-volt reference comes back, the problem is in the car, meaning that one of the sensors is shorted, a harness is shorted, something else is shorted. Because this is only on the pedal position sensor, so these two find reference. So what you need to do is go over to the pedal position sensor, leave this connected on the car, right? Unplug the accelerator pedal, right? And then connect your multimeter there, one side to ground and then the other to the signal, either one. On the accelerator pedal, we will have, if we can see that here, this is the connector for the accelerator pedal. So pin 5 will be one of the 5-volt reference. And then if we go over to the other one, again, it's the same B10, right? That's the accelerator pedal, pin 3. So if you put the red lead with like a terminal like this, right, onto pin 3 or 5, and you unplug these two, and now the 5-volt reference comes back, that means the problem is where? It's on the harness, it's on the vehicle, because now you remove the problem, and now the computer will communicate now you got the 5-volt reference back. But if you do this with the accelerator pedal removed, because that's also a sensor that can be shorting out the 5-volt reference, and the 5-volt reference does not come back, then the problem is in the computer. All right, guys. Let me just proceed with the call of the customer and the repairs, and I'll be right back. If let me just do one thing. If by any chance he does not approve the repair, then this will be the end of the video. And again, please don't forget to subscribe. Please share my videos. I'm also putting a link in the description. If I have work for you and I have help you and you want to give me a good review or a review, an honest review, I will really appreciate that. That will really help my business grow. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye bye. All right, guys, I got the approval from Luis and I finished the repairs. On these computers, I have multiple videos if you want to see what exactly is the repair on these modules, at least on the voltage regulator. I don't show the rest of the parts that I replaced because this is like what I always call the secret sauce on my repair shop. Everything is nice and clean. Anyone that opens this module and try to see what I have done, it will never find out because my repairs are like factory. You will not even notice that a component was replaced. I use all original components. So again, it's going to be, as I said, my secret sauce. All right, everything is good to go. I have a computer now. I use these Pico legs that I bought online so I can hold the modules in place. And this is a metal uh, base, so it works perfect. I have a temperature mat in here. This is up to 2000 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's perfect for soldering. And I have it in multiple areas in my desk to protect the desk. All right, so let's power this up. I have the oscilloscope ready to go. Oh, it's exactly stop. So let me turn this on and turn this on. So right now I'm in pin 46, I think it was, right? Same thing as immediately fiber reference and canvas. Okay, so that is immediately a change. We didn't have this, and now we got a perfect fiber reference. Let's try to establish communication. Again, the last digits on the B number will be TY00881. That's a good sound. 2011 Clubman. TY00881. All right, Luis, your computer is now working 800%. I'm going to check, as I mentioned on the starting of the video. So let me see if I think I closed that picture. So let me get that picture back in here of the fiber reference. Because right now I'm in pin 46. Yeah, this is X604, pin 46. That one right here. So as you can see, the yellow wire is up at the top and that goes over to my meter. So I'm going to move, as in the beginning of the video, to the other on the X6004 pin 20 to make sure that both fiber references are working good. But I know 100% unless we got a one part damage, but I don't think so. This is coming straight from Bosch. So let me just move that wire and make sure that that is indeed good and we go from there. All right, so I move the wire to pin 20. I want to get the light in here so you can see I have that yellow wire, the other yellow wire, which it goes over to the decay box or, sorry, my universal test platform. It's an ignition feed. And then right next to on the left side is that yellow wire that goes over to the multimeter. And we got 5 reference. So all 5 references back to normal. Everything on this computer is now working 800%. Okay, guys, again, another win-win, another successful repair. The proof is in the pudding with everything that I show in here. This is what I like to do this. I like to confirm the customer concern, prove that indeed the component needs repair, and then show the repair done. I am probably of the few or the only electronic repair shop that shows the repair. I have a lot of comments, great comments, and some comments that look, oh, you don't show the repairs and stuff like that. I mean, I have show the repairs, but this is mostly to show and prove that I know what I'm doing. I can repair the computers. This is technical. This is very professional, very technical or skills repairs that yes, I'm not trying to show the owners how to repair their own computers, but I want to share with all of you that yes, if you send something to repair in here and I tell you that needs to be repaired, it's because indeed needs to be repaired. And I prove the before and the after. All right, so if you have a module that you want to send over for repairs, let me take you over to my website. As you can see, have everything even pulled out on air, BMW original information. So if you go over to my website, you will see that this is the landing page. I try to make it as easy as possible. So you got my shipping address in there, the less chat button on the right side. If you scroll a little bit, and this is all because of the zoom that I have in here, because if I make this smaller, you will see this contact us or call. This is my phone number here. If you click in there, this will open your email address, sorry, your email provider on your phone or in your computer, and then you can start chatting with me, and then we can start get the ball going into what do we need to repair or help you with. You can scroll down. I will recommend use this if you need to contact me, if you need to send anything for repairs. This is the easiest and the fastest way to contact me. The rest in here is for locals. This is information that I want to share with all. Book a repair. I actually going to probably change that name on there because a lot of people is getting confused to book a repair. This is like when you're a local shop and you want to drop a computer down, on my office in here. But 99% of my repairs are mail only. I do offer this service to a few shops in the area. Due to the same thing, this is in my house. I don't have an office to receive or hold, hold people waiting for parts or a repair, which this is never going to be a 15 minutes or an hour. This is always going to be hours and hours. All right, so again, if you need anything, just contact me through there, and I will be contacting you really shortly. I always also encourage my subscribers, my customers to help me with reviews. Like if you, let me just get into there. My Salazar Diagnostics reviews. I got very good reviews. I got five, probably, I don't know, maybe 36 or so reviews, and all 5 stars because of the way that I do my work. You can read in here Marcus Whitman. I repaired one of his Rialta instrument cluster, and he's happy. I did a quick repair with a video and everything. We got Kellen Carr from a shop in Florida, which is also has sent multiple computers to work in here, and he's happy. His shop is happy because 100% success rate, and I take the time, as I show always in here, to make sure that him and I are always protected. And if you this is your car, that you know 100% that your module is working 100%. All right, guys, I don't want to take much more of your time. Thank you so much for visiting the channel. Please subscribe. That helps me grow. That helps me improve, and that helps me, as a small business. And also, if you again want to give me a review, just look for my Salazar Diagnostics review, and this is how my name and my business name is spelled, my Salazar Diagnostics, and you can leave me a review in there. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye bye.